Right, final stat. So, procrastinating. I'm married to a procrastinator. He's also a mad scientist. He gets into the detail, but sometimes, often, apparently, we can spend up to 80% of our day just doing stuff that has no value at all, doesn't actually improve our day, doesn't improve the candidate, client or colleague experience. It doesn't clean up the data. It doesn't make the sale more sustainable. It doesn't mean we get home on time if we ever get to leave our house. It doesn't mean we get more time in the gym or more time to crack open a bottle of wine. So 80% of our day potentially procrastinating. Talk to me about that stat. What do you think from your perspective, from SourceBreaker's perspective? Any views on that?
Yeah, I think it actually is really core to what we always talk about. So, one of the core things when we set up the business was, the recruiter's role is so varied. If you look at it as a sales role, there's nothing quite like it anywhere else, because, how many salespeople actually have to produce their own product? So you've got to produce your product, you've got to run all of these different things, lots of processes working around, there's everything from, research skills, there's sales skills, there's relationship skills, there's organization skills of making sure you've got all of these interviews booked in, everyone's got the right information, people are going, less on Zoom now, but they've got the right Zoom link, I suppose, is the new, do they have the address for the old, they know they're going to the right office.
Yeah.
All of that varied skill set. So what we actually looked at it and said, okay, well, you get great recruiters who can balance all of those skill sets and a merge of all of those. But actually, generally, what type of person does a recruitment business attract? That is people who love talking to people, building relationships and having that conversation part of the job. So what we really looked at is, okay, how much of the rest can we start to automate? So that's really where the journey for SourceBreaker started, is looking at this, originally the candidate search part of that, building complex searches, making sure you're, agnostically searching all of the different platforms that you've got available to you. Like, let's get tech to do that. I think the role of tech in recruitment is to get people on the phone or on Zoom meetings or face-to-face to actually speak to people. And I think more and more we can get away from those admin tasks and automate that part. The better, one, the experience for the recruiter is, because really that's what they enjoy doing. But most importantly, the better experience for the candidates and clients, because that's where they add the huge value, is through those conversations, is not making sure that a candidate is taken from SourceBreaker and put onto Bullhorn and coded up correctly. That's not where a recruiter's skill set is. It's it's all about enriching those conversations.
I think that's interesting as well, because the evolution of recruitment is always making me giggle a little bit, because it's that all that we've ever wanted is to get a recruiter on the phone. That's all we've ever wanted. That's what we know is our strength in the industry. That's the thing that differentiates potentially in-house from agency, is that ultimate ability to really get under the skin of a candidate and client and bring those matches together. But over the years, we have just bombarded the industry with so much tech and data that the one thing we want them to be able to do, they are inhibited from doing. And then you go, well, why has that happened? And often it's just because the technology doesn't have a job spec. It doesn't have a place in the workflow. So then where does it have a place? Well, it has a place with the finance department. It gets paid for every month. And we hope to God the recruiters are using it properly. And then the process just breaks down. And then all of the reasons why we've engaged with this technology we've forgotten, but we got a good deal at the time. And I often find this as a training advocate, the problem is often between the chair and the keyboard. And they want to get on the phone and they want to have those conversations, but often they don't know who to call and they don't know what to say when they pick the phone up, because they're drowning. So any tech out there that, and my kids are Xbox mad, that will give them a power up. There we go, I'm getting down with the homies. And I always say to them, if you could have a power up, what would it be? And I think there's got to be an opportunity to use tech as power ups on that platform game that we're all living in every day at the moment, where we say, if I got to the end of the day, what heavy lifting could have been done by something else? What could I have delegated to a system to automate me so I can do the one thing that I've been employed to do? Anyway, I did all of it without breathing. So we obviously want recruiters to use tech better. We want them to save time. Here's a stat for you. If I save an hour a day, every working day, I generate 6 working weeks a year. What would you do, Adam, with 6 working weeks a year? If you could really do it, let's do this. Let's get personal. What would you do with 6 working weeks a year if you could do it?
I think it would just give you so much more space to actually analyze your business. And I think if you think of that from a micro level, from my role, like I can look at the entirety of SourceBreaker, but I think from a recruiter's role is what we're missing in this like hamster wheel that everybody lives on is actually time and space to look back and go, right, what am I doing? What's my strategy? And how am I going to do this more effectively? So I think if anything can give people space and time back, that's where they should be utilizing it, is just on that reflective process and understanding, what they should be doing, when they should be doing it, and making themselves even more efficient.
Totally brilliant. That's great. Thank you.